In March, I received 10 dividend payments from some awesome stocks in ETFs like SnapOn, Visa, and SCHD. And in this video, we're going to go through each of those payments and add them all up to reveal my dividend income for the month, as well as my total income received so far in 2024. But before we get to those, I want to hear from you. Leave me a comment below and let me know which stocks paid you a dividend this month. I'd be curious to hear if we have any of the same ones. Anyway, guys, the first payment that I received this month came from Visa, who paid me a whopping $4.16. But this is actually the first dividend payment I've ever received from this company. I started buying Visa at the end of December, and every single week since then, I've been dollar cost averaging into this stock. And taking a look at my Visa position over here on my dividend portfolio tracking spreadsheet, which you can start using for free. There is a link to download this spreadsheet in the description of the video. Here we can see I have just over 14 shares of Visa at an average cost of $272.13. So with the share price just a few bucks above that, currently I'm seeing about a 2.5% gain both in terms of share price and total returns. And like I said, I've only had this stock for a couple of months now, so over a long period of time, I anticipate these gains will grow to be much larger. Anyway, moving on to the second dividend payment I received. This one came from Johnson & Johnson, one of my favorite dividend kings, who paid me $38.43, which brings our total so far in March to $42.59. And taking a look at my J&J position, this is actually my fourth largest position behind others like Williams-Sonoma, Realty Income, and SCHD. And right now I have 32.3 shares of J&J at an average cost of $160.50. So I'm down just a little bit, and looking at the exact numbers, I'm down about 1.5% just in terms of share price, but still in the green on a total return basis. With dividends included in the calculation, I'm up about 3%. But anyway, moving on to the next dividend payment, number 3 here came from Southern Company, who paid me $12.51 in March, which brings my total so far to $55.10. And Southern Company has actually been on fire lately. If we take a look at the share price performance just in the last month, Southern Company has seen a gain of 7.7%, so that's very solid. But if we look at the year-to-date performance, it's not as impressive. They're only up about 1.9%, and the performance over the last year is also a bit lackluster. They're only up 4.4%. And as opposed to Johnson & Johnson, Southern Company is one of my portfolio's smallest holdings. I only have about 17.9 shares of this company, but the shares that I do have are doing pretty well. My average cost is just above $60 per share, and the current share price is quite a bit above that. So right now I'm seeing about a 19.5% gain just in terms of share price. And on a total return basis, we're looking at about 33%. So that's pretty solid. But anyway, moving on to payment number 4, this one came from SnapOn, which is one of my favorite high growth dividend stocks. And in March, SnapOn paid me $16.70, which brings my total so far to $71.80. And like Southern Company, SnapOn has also been performing really well. Just in the last month, they're up 7.7%, pretty similar to what we saw with Southern Company. And looking at the year-to-date performance, once again, it's a bit lackluster, up 2.6%, but we'll take it. But if we zoom out over the last year, they're doing a lot better. In the last 365 days, SnapOn is up 24.3%. And now taking a look at my SnapOn position, I have just about 9 shares of this company. I wish I had more because this one's done really well for me. My average cost is $211.04. And as you can see, the current share price is quite a bit above that. So that leaves me with about a 40.4% gain in terms of share price. And we can tack on an extra 6.5 percentage points on a total return basis. I'm up closer to 47% in that department. Anyway, guys, this brings us to payment number 5, which came from Chevron. And Chevron paid me $21.63 in March. A pretty nice payment there, which brings my total so far to $93.43. And like SnapOn, Chevron has been really good to me, guys. I have 19.25 shares of this company at an average cost of about $112. So the current share price is quite a bit above that, which leaves me with a 40.7% gain in terms of share price. And including dividends in the calculation, I'm up over 50% with Chevron. I will take it. Anyway, next up, we've got the monthly dividend company, Realty Income, who paid me $25.69 in March, which brings my total so far across the $100 mark to $119.12. This was actually my largest dividend payment ever from Realty Income. Last month, I bought a huge tranche of this company and added 29 shares to my position, which for a short period of time made Realty Income my largest position. At this point, I have just over 100 shares of Realty Income, which is why I added those 29 shares. I wanted to get across the 3-figure mark with my number of shares here. But like I said, for a brief moment in time, this was my largest position. But it didn't last very long, guys, because soon after I bought all those shares of Realty Income, Williams-Sonoma just came out of nowhere, went on a crazy run, and just from the share price gains from Williams-Sonoma, knocked Realty Income out of the number 1 spot into the number 2 spot. But anyway, back to Realty Income. Once again, 100 shares shares of this bad boy, and my average cost is about $54.50. The current share price really isn't too far off from that, so in terms of share price, I'm down less than 1%. I'm seeing a 0.6% loss, which is not too bad, and I'm actually in the green looking at the total return. I'm actually up 6.6%, and that cash flow is a-flowing. And with that, guys, we are now at payment number 7, which came from the other monthly paying dividend stock in my portfolio, Main Street Capital Corporation, who actually paid me 2 different dividends in the month of March. I got my regular dividend from these guys. That was $13.50. The Main Street also paid a special dividend, which for me was that $16.88 there. But with both of these 2 payments, my total so far in March is sitting at $149.50. And like some other stocks we've talked about today, Main Street has just been crushing it, guys. In the last month, they've seen a nice little climb there, 4.16%. But year to date, guys, they are up over 10% so far in 2024. And zooming out once more across the last year, Main Street is up 23%. And right now, they are sitting at an all-time high share price. And taking a look at my position here, it is sitting pretty, guys. I have 56.25 shares of Main Street Capital Corporation at an average cost of $40.66. So the current share price is about $7 above that, which is leaving me with a 16.36% share price return and a 31% total return. Anyway, moving on to payment number 8. This was another special dividend, actually. This one came from Blue Owl Capital Corporation, and this special dividend was $9.31, which brings my total so far in March to $158.81. And Blue Owl has also been crushing it, guys. In the last month, nothing too crazy. They're up 2.8%. And year to date, it's also nothing too spectacular, 4.75%. But if we zoom out looking at the performance over the last year, they're seeing more of a gain than Main Street was. They're up almost 25%. So Blue Owl's been doing really well. And my position has certainly been a beneficiary of that, guys. I have 116.4 shares at an average cost of $13.49. So the current share price is almost a couple bucks above that, which is leaving me with a 14% share price return and a 37% total return. Thank goodness for those dividends. They definitely add a nice little boost there. And with that Blue Owl payment, those were all of the dividends I received in my main taxable brokerage account. But still, there are a couple other payments I received in my Roth IRA, with the first one of those coming from SCHD, who paid me $39.35 in March, which was the highest payment I've ever received from SCHD. But anyway, this brings my total so far in March to $198.16. We are almost across that $200 mark. And I dollar cost average into SCHD every single week. And right now I'm on a mission to reach 100 shares of this ETF by the end of the year, which I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get there. Right now, if we take a look at my position, I have 65.7 shares of SCHD. And at this point, with my dollar cost averages, I'm able to pick up about 1 share, probably just a little bit more than 1 share every single week on average. But anyway, right now my average cost is about $74, and with the current share price about $6 above that. Right now I'm seeing a near 9% share price return, and with dividends included in the calculation on a total return basis, I'm up 12% with SCHD. So this position's doing pretty decent. But anyway, guys, last but not least, this final payment that I received, the second one here in my Roth IRA, came from VU, who pay me $11.01. And I also dollar cost average into this fund every week, just like with SCHD. Although with this one, I'm nowhere near reaching 100 shares of VU. I only have about 7.25 shares of this ETF. As you can see, it's a much more expensive fund to buy. It's over $400 per share. And right now, my average cost is $406, and the current share price is about $76 above that, which is leaving me with an 18.4% share price return and an exact 20% total return. But anyway, guys, with that final payment from VU, that's going to bring my total dividend income for the month of March to $209.17, which is not too shabby at all. And this is also a 23.9% year-over-year gain compared to this time last year. In March 2023, I generated $168.88 in dividend income. So year-over-year, that's quite a big boost. And looking at the year-to-date total for the first 3 months in 2024, I've brought in $643.40 of dividend income, which once again is a huge boost compared to the year-to-date total from 2023. For the first 3 months of last year, I brought in $510.06, which represents a year-over-year gain of 26.14%. And with that, now that we've taken a look at all of my dividend payments from this last month, I want to switch gears and show you which companies are going to be paying me in this upcoming month here in April. And to do this, we are going to be looking at the dividend calendar tool over on GetQuinn, which outside of my spreadsheet is hands down my favorite portfolio tracking tool. And if you're looking looking for something with more features and functionality than your standard spreadsheet, then I think you guys are really going to love using GetQuinn. This has one of the best looking interfaces I've ever seen, and it's a great tool for keeping track of all your portfolios, all of your holdings, and all of your dividend payments in one place. You can automatically sync everything right here within the platform. And the best part is you can use it for free. There is a link to GetQuinn in the description of the video. Just click the link, it'll take you right there, and if you end up making an account, shoot me a follow on there. My username is just Ryne, so it'll be pretty easy to find, and I'd love to connect with you guys over on the platform. Anyway, guys, getting into the dividend payments for this upcoming month, we are going to check this out on the GetQuinn app. I just have it pulled up on my phone here, and you can see here to kick things off, we are going to be starting the month of April with a nice payment from Coca-Cola, who's going to be paying $11.27 on the first. Be a great way to kick off the month. And then about a week and a half later, we've got a really nice payment from KRC coming in, $41.58. Then a few days later on the 15th, it looks like we're going to have a crazy day of dividends. 4 dividend payments on this day. We've got one from WP Carey, $33. One from Realty Income, $25.74 it looks like. Blue Owl Capital Corporation, $43. This is going to be their regular dividend payment. We got the special dividend payment this month. Next month, we get the actual regular dividend, which is, as you can see, a lot more. Then we've got that monthly payment coming in from Main Street Capital Corporation. And just on the 15th here, just some rough math, man, I don't know the exact number, but this is definitely going to be over $100 in dividends just in one day, which I think will make this my highest day of dividends ever. But then moving on, guys, it looks like we only really have one more payment in the month of April, and that's going to be another whopper coming from Altria Group, just over $55 from Mo in April. And then it does say here that we have another forecasted payment coming in from Blue Owl Capital Corporation for $38.42, but I think that it's mistaken. I don't think that I'll actually be getting 2 payments from Blue Owl. I think that's just kind of an extra one, and I'm sure as time goes on, they'll remove this from the app. But with this bonus non-existent payment from Blue Owl, that's going to bring my total in April to $261.59. So if we subtract that, we're looking at probably about $222 in dividend income for the month. So it's going to be solid. So yeah, guys, April is shaping up to be another very solid month of dividend income. And with that, if you're in the market for some cheap dividend stocks, then check out this next video right over here where I'm telling you about 3 of them, all of which look like great pickups right now as we head into April. So click right over here to find out which ones they are, and I'll see you in the next one.